You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast, everybody. I'm Andy Smith.
And I'm Tim Fulton.
Tim Fulton is joining us via his house.
No, I'm not, you idiot. I'm right here. Look at me.
Yeah, it's true. You really, the gym's really paying off for you, bud. I have to say.
Slim down a ton.
You know, believe it or not, this is actually way less weird having something to look at. The more I think about it, it really is. It's way easier doing this with, I don't know how you're doing it.
I brought up your Facebook page. Don't be creeped out. Don't make it weird.
Wow. Okay. Well, this just took a turn. So this is this week's What Do You Got? We apologize for having no videos last week, but due to the circumstances, we were trying to figure out how to get this out there, and we finally did. So
while maintaining social distancing, which is important, stay at home, peeps.
Yeah, don't go out. All right, don't go out. Okay. All right, so this is Tim's What Do You Got? What Do You Got's when one of us brings a topic to the table. The other one usually doesn't know about it, but I kind of had a heads up on this one. So, Tim, what do you got?
We're going to be talking about board games.
Oh, shit.
The reason I wanted to bring this up is because I noticed a lot of people are playing board games online. You can do that now thanks to the interwebs.
Board games online. How do you feel about virtual board games versus...
It depends on the game.
Yeah, I guess... all right, I take it back. I guess you don't have a choice right now to play virtual board games with most people unless you're locked down with somebody.
Yeah, which I'm not.
Yeah, that's got to be rough for you up there, for sure. So, what board games are people playing online?
Have you ever heard of Settlers of Catan?
Excuse me.
It's like it's weird because it has like this weird cult following, but not everyone's even heard of it. But like it's this, I can't even begin to describe it. It's like Risk, except there's no war, but it's super intense and it doesn't look like it. Anyway, my buddy was talking about it. That's one game that's super popular online right now.
Risk, but there's no war.
I can't even begin to describe it, dude. You have to like build roads. You can like cut other people off.
Oh, it's like an economics type of game?
Yeah, actually. You have to like trade sheep for like wood and stuff like that.
That actually is probably a good game to get good at because we might be heading back there.
That's not even a joke.
Okay.
Anyway.
Board games. Okay, so I didn't see any virtual board games. I'm trying to think of what ones you could play. I guess you could play any board game online. It's just not as fun. I'm trying to think of like playing Monopoly or something like that online.
You know what it is? I don't trust, and I know it's the same, but I don't trust digital dice. It's not the same.
No, I don't trust them either.
You can't blow on it. You can't shake it real good. Like it's just
that's
not
what she
the
said.
Same.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a different virtual thing.
Yeah. I don't like virtual dice. Like people that use virtual dice when they're playing a game because they don't want to reach across the table. They bother me. They bother me.
It bothers me so bad.
Yeah, we got to find. Luckily, everyone that we play board games with, or any game that you need dice with, I think everyone unanimously wants to roll the dice.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Two different kinds of people. I mean, I used to play. Like, remember when the computers first came out?
Yeah.
And every Windows computer had like a couple games on it, and one of them was the pinball.
That was fun as hell.
Base pinball or whatever, because it was the only game when life was simpler. But I used to play online checkers and chess. And I remember I would always play on easy. And then one time I was like, oh, let me try play on... Dude, there's no way.
No.
No.
The computer's too good.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It's not fair.
Like, I know there are smart people out there who can do that. And I'm not bad at chess. I'm not good at it, but I'm not bad at it. But like, it's just not possible.
Yeah, I had to like I never wanted to get into chess because if I start doing bad but I want to do good at something, I'll get obsessed with it, and I didn't want to get obsessed with chess. Even though it's probably one of the better things to get good at, because I guess it improves your intelligence or whatever, but think I'm smart enough as I want to be right now. I don't want to.
It's all a strategy game. We've never brought this up, but back in my camp days,
Oh
we
boy.
we got to choose our classes. So when I first started going to summer camp, the first year I went, it was like straight academia, and by the end of it, it was like I went for social stuff, and like the classes were all a joke. And my last year there, I took a chess class.
Okay.
So it's all like it's more numbers than you would think. Like it's all like counting like how many spots have how many things on it. It's very interesting. It's cool. It's fun when you get super into it.
Yeah, every time I played, even if I played against somebody else, I always felt like there was a couple rules that you should follow that weren't like, they're not rules, but like guidelines that no one told me about, that I felt like everyone else had.
There's a lot of good people out there that do have those rules.
You know what I mean? Like if it's always like, don't move this if this, and this are on the, or whatever the hell it is. But I always felt like there was some people hiding that card up their sleeve, and that's why I didn't like it, because I felt like I didn't understand it.
This one time I was up at the that fantasy place in New York. What the hell's it called?
Fantasy place.
You go, people dress up and
Renaissance Fair.
The Renaissance Fair. I was at the Renaissance Fair.
Were you a dragon?
They have that speed chase or that speed chess player. He just literally goes in a circle and he beats everybody. And every now and then someone wins, because the whole point is he's supposed to be super quick.
Yeah.
And if you win, you get the chessboard.
Oh.
I remember he was going around in a circle, and I was the only person he would go by, and he would stop and he would hesitate for like half a second.
Oh, because he knew?
Because I wasn't playing bad. I was playing decent. So he would have to take like that one extra half a step. And it got to the point where like everyone else was kind of rooting for me just because they wanted him to lose. I still lost. The guy destroyed me. He was mad at me. At one point I made a move and he was like, "Why did you do that? Why?"
Wait, he got mad at because you made a good move?
No, because I made a bad move. Apparently I was playing decent, and then I made a bad move and he was mad at me.
Oh, yeah. You disappointed him. You disappointed the guy at the Renaissance Fair.
Not smart enough for that.
Yeah, no, people get really into those things.
They do.
Yeah. So what have you like played any of these virtual board games?
In the past I have, but right now I don't have a computer. Well, no, it's funny because like there are like certain groups of people who are playing, but my friends aren't one of them. But I think I have a small group of friends who want to do something tonight, so I might be tonight.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, you got to like convince people to stop what they're doing and pay attention to their computer.
Yeah, for like a couple hours.
Yeah, that's annoying. That's got to be really. I don't even know if I could do that. I would need something more interactive than just rolling dice. And I also feel like the games would probably go like way quicker if you're playing them online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah. So what was your favorite board game growing up?
Ooh. That's a really good question. I'm going to have to go back to Risk. I've had countless hours and lost countless friends playing that game.
You know, that's one game that I've never played.
You're missing out on so much.
Yeah. I from what you explained, I think I would like that game.
You would, but I would be afraid to play it against you.
Why?
Because normal people lose their temper in that game.
What are you saying, bro? What are you trying to say?
I'm at a safe distance from here, so I'm calling it out.
What are you trying to say, bro?
I'll
karate chop that cardboard head right off of you.
There was a quick little story. I made an alliance with my sister-in-law's little sister.
Okay.
We agreed I would not go from Kamchatka into Alaska, and she would not go the reverse way, so that way we didn't have to protect that border.
Okay.
And I betrayed her, which I shouldn't have done. In hindsight, I should have kept my word.
You son of a bitch. You know what's...
This was like 8 years ago. To this day, she brings it up.
I was just going to say that. I said, do you know that kind of a thing is something that, as stupid as it is, people will never forget it. People will forget the times that you helped them out in stupid board games, but they will never forget when you fucked them over.
Oh, no. she'll never make an alliance with me again in anything.
No. And
including real life.
That is a fucking weird it's a weird lesson, especially if you're playing board games. It's a life lesson, especially if you're playing board games with the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
Another story. Remember Munchkin?
Yeah.
So Munchkin, for those of you guys that don't know, it's like a board game where you have to go from level 1 to level 10. And then there's an expansion pack where it goes to level 20. And the whole gist of the game is you have like your own little guy. He can wear like armor, weapons, and stuff like that. And you have to fight monsters to go up levels. But you can help, everyone else can help you out or hurt you when you're fighting them. And the game is designed where the rules are not really clear. They're kind of open for interpretation. Like some of them are very clean and cut, but other cards that you pick up, they all have sayings on them. And some of them are purposely left open so that people argue. And
that's what they want.
Yeah, it's a table flipping game. If you play with pretty much anybody, like I've seen people that we've played with that never get aggravated play that game, that get like bloodshot eyes aggravated. But the one time we were playing the apocalyptic version of that game, and I basically made a deal with who did I make a deal with? John? I think I made a deal with John where I said, if you help me out and knock somebody back or whatever, I'm like, I promise that I won't win the game if I have the opportunity to, or my sole mission was to, like, because if you open up a certain amount of cards in that specific game, like everyone loses, nobody can win. And I was going to win the game. And I was like, no, I gotta kill everybody, including myself. And everyone got so fucking pissed off at me. Like, I was going to either win and everyone loses, or I kill everyone, including myself, and nobody wins. And they were more pissed at me for that.
Yeah,
so, but
me too.
Yeah. Well, you were one of the people. But I just remember being like, all right, I got to keep my word as my bond in the games, because people will remember that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a poker face kind of a thing. You have to make sure that, as stupid as it sounds, we take games very seriously.
Which brings me to my next point. There are two different types of people in this world. One who take games seriously like us, or at least try their best to follow the rules.
Yes.
And then there's people who don't.
Yes.
I explicitly remember I was playing Monopoly. We were literally getting ready for a party at my buddy's house. But like we were like super early, like lounging around type shit.
Okay.
It was myself, him, and your cousin. We were playing Monopoly. I was winning by like a decent margin. And
okay.
He literally just turned around and was like, I don't feel like playing anymore. He looked at your cousin and goes, do you want these?
Oh, no.
Literally just gave her all the properties and walked away. And I was just like, what? Like,
yeah, that's a thing.
I could feel unjustifiable amount of heat rising in my chest, and I'm just like, I want not be at this party tonight, but I know that's not okay.
Yeah, well, I don't like that either, but that is part of the reason why when we play games, my cousin, like everyone, all you guys bust my balls for it. But if somebody makes a ruling on, I have this, I can't shut it off. Like I remember things pretty well when it comes to games. Like, like you see, like when we play, like I'll remember like stupid details, big details I'll forget, but like little things I'll remember. So whenever there's like a ruling in a game, I'll always remember the ruling for the most part. So that's why, like, if you know how like people are like, oh, well, they always want it to turn out in their favor, obviously, for the ruling. So that's why I always say, okay, so from here on out, every time we play, this is how we're going to play. And then everyone steps back and they're like, wait a minute. Do I want this way? Like, why is he, you know what I mean? Because you can bend the game to those hard rules if you know that there's hard rules. So for
you do that, because like we'll be playing Dungeons and Dragons and like you'll show up and you'll be like, I don't know who my character is, I don't know where we are, and I don't know what our goal is in this game. And then like 2 hours later you'll be like, no, 18 months ago at 7:34 p.m., you said if the character was 4 feet tall, they needed a 7 on the die to XYZ. And everyone would just be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. But the thing is that's crazy is that at this point nobody really and I appreciate this, but nobody really questions it as long as I put my foot down, because I don't like lie when it comes to that stuff. I just remember weird shit really well, and everyone's just like, why the fuck? Like, why are you like this? I'm like, I don't know, man. I can't turn it off. I think it's from my dad, to be honest with you. They would play Pinochle. I distinctly remember, even to this day, like when they're playing Pinochle, like, you know, like if you ever played Pinochle before, there's like hand after hand after hand, like dozens of hands.
Yeah.
And he'll remember like cards that were thrown like 20 hands ago, like the suit that was thrown and who's thrown off suit and all this stuff. And like, not just like, oh, didn't you throw, like he will remember and like freak out, like not flip the table freak out, but like catching somebody cheating in the Wild West freak out. Like, oh, you threw out a sword 6 hands ago. You didn't say you had spades left. Like he can't help it though. It's the same thing. I just can't help it. I just remember stupid shit. But yeah, you definitely can. That's why, like, before you start a game like Monopoly, you have to like say some of those rules out loud. Like, okay, if somebody walks away, like, can you just gift your money and your property to somebody?
Yeah.
Because everyone always likes to say like, oh, we're just going to play for fun. But
it never goes that way.
No.
Like 2 rounds in, you're like, no, I'm winning this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There's a damn it. There was one more shit. I just remembered the one thing. I was trying to think of not Monopoly. Damn it, I just had it. I'm going to remember as soon as we stop here. We're talking about Monopoly. We're talking about remembering rules, making rules before you start. Oh, I'm so stupid.
D&D.
D&D. No, it wasn't Risk. It was, we're talking about Monopoly and making rules before you start. And
at a time.
No. Just it's making me forget more. It's thinking that I'm booked for time here. Hang on. So making rules before you start.
While Andy's thinking about this, now's a good time to mention that you guys can still go to brodownpro.com. We still have awesome merch for sale. You can see me wearing one of my classic t-shirts right now. We have more, including cell phone cases, mugs, hoodies, sweatshirts, all the good stuff that you have come to know and love. We're always updating our inventory, or at least we're trying to. So go to brodownpro.com today and make sure you get all of your cool Bro Down gear. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell button so you make sure that you're getting all of the podcasts that we're doing. And don't forget to comment down below as well. Andy, what do you have for us?
I remember.
Go.
It's people that play games. You said there's 2 kinds of people that either take it very seriously or don't take it seriously.
Yep.
There's a weird in between where some people will play, even no matter what the stakes are, with caution to the wind on purpose, just to rile the game up. And one specific time I remember was we were playing poker at Justin's house, and Ron plays games a lot. So Ron's not really like he's pretty, like, he's like me in a lot of ways. Like, if he likes something, he'll get obsessed with it. So we're playing poker. But Ron also has that thing where he'll do outrageous shit just to see what happens. And he would do that thing. Like, we all had like a $20 buy-in. And I'm playing, like, you know, trying to win, but like, you know, we're all friends and everything, but like taking it, you know, semi-seriously.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he'd get his cards, wouldn't look at his cards, and just go all in. And then he would look at his cards, and you're just like, fucking, like, shit like that. And you're like, dude, Ron, like, but it fucks up everyone in the game. Because you know, you could just get lucky once in a while, and he kept getting lucky, and people started folding because it's just so out of ordinary that nobody can get a read on it because he was doing it so often. And there's something to be appreciated about that, where you're just like, nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna piss everyone off in this game.
Dude, there's on that last quick story, on that same level of caliber, I went down a weird YouTube rabbit hole a lot lately, and I watched this video of Tony Hawk playing poker, like professional poker. He was at a legit table. It was him and one person left.
Was it like celebrity poker, or was it like he was playing poker with other poker players?
He was playing poker with other poker players.
Oh, so he's legit. Okay.
And he was at he was the final pot kind of thing.
Okay.
It was him and this girl, and he was already up a little bit. So they go in on his hand. It was Texas Hold'em. And out in front of them is 4 cards for a flush. Neither one of them had it. She goes first. She bluffs. In his hand, he only had the ability to beat 2 sets of cards. He had one of them. But there's a flush out on the table.
Yeah.
Well, a possible flush out on the table. He calls her. It made 0 sense to anyone, even the people, even the announcers were like, "Why?" So they finally flip over the cards, and she was like, "Ah, he must have had the flush." She looks at his cards, and she's like, "What? Did you just read my soul?" And for the rest of the game, she couldn't play normal because he just didn't follow any rules. He just said, "Fuck it," and I think he took the whole thing.
There's a fuck. That's a guy with a fuck it mentality, right? You're jumping your skateboard over like 7-story buildings. Yeah. Like you're a fuck it kind of guy. But that is an interesting thing where like those poker players are so good at reading. Like you might not be able to read someone obviously exactly, but you can kind of get tendencies where people are so good at poker they know what the odds are, and every once in a while they'll stray away. But you get a guy like that who can do that with such a straight face that you can never understand if he's bluffing or not.
Yeah.
Because he's been in so many high stakes situations in his life that poker, like, there's no chance I'm going to die here. Like, who gives a shit about poker? Yeah, and he's got money too, so he doesn't give a shit if he loses it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was just a fun watch.
That's a cool story, man. But yeah, so you already did the outro, so that about wraps it up. Any final thoughts?
No, I think we're just about good.
All right. Well, this has been the Bro Down Podcast, so we'll catch you next time.
Peace out, everybody.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.